What's up, guys? It's Jake again. We're gonna go ahead and try and shoot this again, and hopefully my phone don't flip it around on me again. All right, so this video, we're making a case for cheap tools. I know that you see two Snap-on tools in that picture and one Harbor Freight. Okay, we're not talking about road tools or anything like that, but we could flex into that philosophy if you wanted to. Maybe you want to keep some cheap tools around that it won't break your heart too bad if some dirtbag steals them from you. All right, so what the hell am I talking about? All right, many years ago, 25, 26 years ago, when I was a young man, an experienced man told me that you should always have a good set of screwdrivers with these Snap-ons here. And you can see this is old. All right. And this Pittsburgh, for example, it can be any cheap screwdriver, whatever you get cheap. Why? Well, let's be honest here. What do we use screwdrivers for? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm saying that we use extensions for punches. We use screwdrivers for pry bars, all right? Now, I'm not saying to get cheap tools first. I'm saying get good tools first. Not necessarily Snap-on, not necessarily Mac. I mean, Wrangler Star just did a whole video series about, you know, lesser expensive, good American-made tools. But good tools, get those first. You can see, like, the Snap-on guy, he probably will warranty that. You can see this one's been warranted. That's much newer than the handle it's on. My buddy grabbed this and pried on something and broke it instead of grabbing this piece of junk right here that was right next to it. Okay. Well, what's the wrench all about in the picture? Well, I believe that you should have a cheap set of wrenches too. Okay, and here's why. This is just a example. I've got a, you see how that Pittsburgh wrench is ground like that, and cut off like that? Well, there's one line on the race car that you really can't get on with a Crowfoot, and you can't get on with anything else, you know? So we ended up having to do that just to get the job done without pulling the intake back off. I've got a 19 millimeter wrench that is a China that's, well, maybe it's even a Taiwan. It's pretty old, from back before. It's real old, and it's cut in half because I didn't have a 19 millimeter short. Right? So I bled for these, man. You know, paying just around the shop, there's no way I would cut that in half just to get the job done. And, you know, sometimes you got to make a specialty tool. And that's what cheap wrenches and screwdrivers do for you. They're not the only one. They're not the only option. I mean, you could use one of these all day. And here, there you go. That's a Stanley. That's actually not that bad of a wrench, but you know what I'm saying? You can get these pretty cheap. If you had to cut that in half, it wouldn't break your soul, you know? I mean, out on the road, and, you know, every man's got his price. You know, if it meant not walking 100 miles out, you know, taking 4 days to hike out of somewhere where you broke down, and you don't got cell service or something, you'll do what you got to do. But I mean, I would cut that in that situation and get another one from the Snap-on guy when I saw him. But I mean, if I had it with me, my road tools are low cost stuff for the reason I said at the beginning of the video. That's all I'm saying here. I'm not saying buy cheap tools. Don't ever buy cheap sockets. Don't ever buy cheap ratchets and count on them as your primary. I mean, I guess you can. I got that video about that Pittsburgh professional ratchet, the surprisingly good ratchet that I bought a few years ago for my track stuff. But usually those tools are awful, and you don't want to work with them very long. You know, and one of these you can work with it a lot. This stuff here is very pleasant. Some people think Snap-ons are too thin. I don't. All right. This video is running along. Get a good set of screwdrivers and a good set of wrenches. And then get the cheapest set you can buy of each. Remember where they are, especially your screwdrivers. You use them a lot. You could use little pry bars, but I know you guys. I don't know you, but I know me. And I know what kind of things happen. All right? Thanks for watching, boys. We got some racing coming up this weekend. We got a little bit of lead I had to move on the car. It was an oversight on my part. We're running with a little bit different rules package this week. But we're ready to rock and roll, minus tacking the body on. I'll do that tomorrow. It's about to storm like a son of a gun here. All right, boys, lit.